Ball's in.
Oh yeah, that ended like freaking tight Scotland. Scotland's not even a country. Piss me off.
Come on, Grady. Face it here.
Good job, boys. Good job.
Hey, Grady, let's get him in, bud.
Come on, face it here.
You ready, Jaden?
This is Post 41 Evanston Outlaw Baseball on MyLocalRadio.com and on the air at KNYN 99.1 FM, The Big Dog. Evanston Outlaw Baseball is brought to you by Auto Farm Chevrolet, Bear River Dental, The Best Western, Dunbar Inn and Legal Tender Restaurant, Elling Ford Brothers, Evanston Regional Hospital, Freeway Tire, Hoover Chiropractic, Dr. McKay Frankham, Mountain West Business Solutions, Plains Tire, Rocky Mountain Sign, T-Bar Body Shop, Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, the Come On In Casper, Uinta County School District Number 1, West Star Printing, and by Rocky Mountain Yeti. Now, Outlaw fans, let's head to the Diamond for today's game.
And a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody, as we welcome you once again here to Pocatello, Day 3 of the Wood Bat Tournament. I'm Dan Hubbard, glad to have you with us as the Outlaws today will take on the Riverton Raiders here in this game. This is an elimination game. Winner moves on to play tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. The loser, unfortunately, will go home as the way that this tournament works out. So the game's here from now on. It's win in advance and see how deep you can go. You need to win 3 games to collect the championship. Our opening lineups here in the game here this afternoon. First for the Evanston Outlaws is Caleb Gooding will lead off. He is in the right field. Hank Allred will catch and bat second. Gus Allred will pitch this afternoon and he will hit third. Jagger Mitchell, who hits in the 4 spot, he will start at shortstop. Bodie Wicks is the third baseman. He'll hit 5th. Clayton Moyles will be the center fielder, and he will bat 6th. Talon Crutchfield bats 7th. He is over in left field today. Jaden Schneider is the first baseman. He'll bat 8th. And Ryan Baldwin, the second baseman, hits number 9 here today for the Outlaws with Gus Allred on the mound. For Riverton, they'll line up this way. Nathan Hutchison will lead off. He'll be at third base. Chris Rennig is the left fielder. He'll bat second. Blake Dole hits in the 3 spot, and he'll play shortstop. Hunter Heck is the pitcher this afternoon for Riverton. He'll hit in the 4 spot. Aguayo Friday is the first baseman, and he will hit 5th. Derek Davies is the center fielder. He'll bat in the 6 spot. Carter Nosip is the second baseman. He'll bat 7th. Braden Baker does the catching. He'll hit 8th today for Riverton. And Branson Saltigver will bat 9th, and he will be in right field. So Gus Allred going through his warm-up tosses, which means we are just about ready to play baseball here this afternoon, as there has been a couple of other games played here in the first day of knockouts, as other games that have gone on today. It was, let me make sure I'm on the right page, right page here. It was Burley winning 11-3 today. Well, part of the reason why we're a little bit behind is because the game before us, had a lot of runs and then needed extra innings to find a winner. Since it is the knockout round, the final score was Malad 11, Blackfoot 10. Malad scoring the winning run in the bottom of the first extra inning on a double steal that allowed the winning run to come in. Wood River took on the Marsh Valley, took on Hillcrest and won that game 11-4. And then the Razorbacks, who were in the pool with Evanston, knocked off Wood River just a little bit ago, 8-6 on the other field. So we're ready to play as they throw the ball down. Evanston is the home team as they are the higher seed in the game here this afternoon. And we're ready to play ball here in Pocatello. So here for Riverton, it'll be Nathan Hutchison to lead off. So in the pool play, in the seeding round, the Evanston Outlaws went 1-2. They won their only game in the pool play last night when they beat Shelley, as Gus Allred comes home with the first pitch, and at 5:24, we're just about an hour late. Allred ready again. Roxon comes home, and that pitch again is swung on and missed. Clear skies, a little bit of a breeze, 91 degrees at game time. So Allred back on top of the hill. Stares in to get the sign. He's ready. Roxon comes home. Here's the next pitch to Hutchison. Hit foul off the face mask of the catcher Allred, and it's 1-2. Allred wears that hockey mask, hockey kind of spin-off mask that a lot of guys wear now. Covers up the side of the head and the ears just in case the bat gets a little wild and maybe hit him on the back of the head and their head's completely covered, and took that one right off the mask. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch missed just outside, and it's 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gus says yes. The left-hander rocks and comes home. Here's the 2-2. Right, just missed outside. Looked like a pretty good pitch, but it looks like he's going to run the count full, 3-2. So Hutchison waits at the plate. And here's the pitch. Hit in the air toward right center field, coming over and giving chase, but it's going to find the gap. Gooding has to chase it down in the gap. It's actually Moyles who picks it up, and Hutchison's going for third, and he will be in there with a slide. So Hutchison triples to open the ball game. Got one up, got it out into the gap, and by the time the Evanston outfield could get it back in, he had gone all the way to third base. So the leadoff man at third, and here's Chris Renning. Renning is the left fielder. Even with the man on third base, Allred will continue to work from the windup, and the first pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Allred started the first game of the tournament here on Wednesday afternoon. The plan all along was to limit him to 30 pitches so he could come back and pitch in this game if they needed him to. As that pitch is outside, ball 1 ball and 1 strike. In fact, Jagger Mitchell followed him, and he was also limited to 30 pitches. So the 2 best pitchers for the Outlaws worked on the first day of the tournament and had not been back on the mound since. The 1-1 over again, and it's 1-2. One of the other coaches asked me about the way the pitching had shaken out in the tournament for Evanston, and I told him, I said the 2 best pitchers worked 1 inning each in the first game, and after that it was pretty much just bullpen by committee. The 1-2 pitch, off speed breaking ball that he's able to hold up on. Nice check swing by Rennig, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2. Hutchison led off the game with a triple, still standing down there at third base. And the 2-2 pitch. It's low, as Rennig able to hold off, and the count now full, 3-2. Blake Dale, the shortstop, will be next. As Allred comes home, here's the 3-2 pitch, and it's up high, ball 4. So a triple and a walk. Runners at the corners, still nobody out here in the first inning, and now here comes Blake Dale, the shortstop. Dale will hit from the right side with runners at the corners. So Gus Allred, when he started the game the other day, even though he only went an inning and a third before he reached this 30-pitch limit, he came off and he was the first one to admit that he was not sharp at all. As pitched to Dale, fastball for a strike. In the one inning of work that Allred turned in, he allowed 2 runs on a hit. There was a couple of walks and 2 strikeouts as well. Well, like we said, he was the first one to admit to the coaches after they took him out that he was anything but sharp. So 0-1 the count on Dale. Runners at the corner. Still nobody out here in the top of the first inning. As that pitch misses outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, it was outside.
So 1-1. There's somebody from the Evanston dugout yelling over the umpire what that pitch was. And our crowd mic picking up the umpire. He pulled up his mask and yelled back, yes, indeed, the pitch was outside. So a ball and a strike. Allred ready again. Checking over at first, comes home, and that pitch is low. So 1 ball. Check that, 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2-1. As Allred finding himself in a little scrape here in the top of the first inning. Pitches up high again. So now he's a pitch away from loading the bases with nobody out. And digging himself a little bit more of a hole. If he wasn't sharp here on Wednesday afternoon, you're wondering if maybe that's carrying over here to today, as he's given up a triple and a walk. And the 3-2 pitch, he's walked another batter. So the fastball missed high, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. So with bases loaded and nobody out, that'll bring up the pitcher, Hunter Houck. First, Hunter's going to jog down and talk to the third base coach, the head coach for the team. Also gives Mr. Hutchison a chance to take his protective elbow and wrist guards and take him to throw him back over toward the dugout, as he'll come back now to third base. So here is Houck. Waiting for a moment. Now umpire comes over and brings a couple of bottled drinks that were delivered to him over to the dugout as he comes over to take his position on the inside part of the infield in front of the shortstop anyway. So finally here's Houck as he steps in with the bases loaded and nobody out. With the bases full again, Allred will go back to working out of the windup. And the first pitch is over for a strike at the knees on the inside half, and it's 0-1. So Evanston was 1-2 in the seeding round. The 0-1 pitch over for a strike, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. For Evanston, they lost a couple of fairly tight games, as they lost 6-4 in their opening game here on Wednesday, which they played 2 games Wednesday, as the 0-2 pitch is up high, 1-2. They lost 6-4 to Thunder Ridge, which is a pretty good showing for them. That Thunder Ridge team is a team, most of them made up of kids from Thunder Ridge High School, which won the 5A state championship here in Idaho. As that pitch, little breaking ball that misses down low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. After that game, they played later that night, and they came up short 6-1, losing to the Pocatello Razorbacks. That ball's popped up in the infield. Charging to make the play over first base is Baldwin for the out, but the run is in. So Houck is out, 4-3.
One down, huh? All right.
And picks up an RBI as Hutchison able to come in from third base on that little soft ball hit in the infield.
They want me to help them out, run scoreboard.
Yeah, we need.
So 1-0.
For the kid, I think everyone likes it, you know?
I seen him said it.
First base open, and here is Aguayo Friday.
Help them out till maybe he gets that.
That'd be great.
Runners at second and third, one out here in the top of the first. First pitch to Friday is swung on and missed.
Just so no one
That ball that Houck hit
might mess up.
was right on the border of being an infield fly rule. If it was hit, 10 or 15 feet closer to Baldwin, they probably would have called it that, as he had to charge and play it on a bounce, as he couldn't get to it quite before it came down to hit the ground. As the pitch again to Friday swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. But it stayed that he had to play it on a bounce. He got the out at first base and got the run across as the 0-2 pitch hit foul at home plate. And it stays in no balls and 2 strikes.
We hit now. Here we go.
So 0-2 the count on Friday. New baseball for Allred, and the 0-2 pitch swung on and fouled into the glove of Gus Allred. Or I should say of Hank Allred. That's a strikeout for the second out. First strikeout for Gus Allred here in the top of the first inning of this start. And with 2 outs and 2 on, here is Derek Davies, the center fielder. First pitch home to Davies. Whoa, look out, way high. As Hank Allred had to jump out of his crouch to get that, to keep it from going to the backstop. Gus kind of takes a moment here to catch his breath, working out of a jam, adjusts his hat, takes and adjusts that mop of hair back on his head, puts the hat back on as the 1-0 pitch is high and away. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. 1 run on 1 hit, a couple of walks in the inning so far. And here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed. Couldn't lay off a fastball that was up in the zone, up in his eyes. Very likely would have swung at ball 3. So here's the 2-1 pitch. Hit foul, and it counts even now at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, and now after being seriously on the ropes with the bases loaded and nobody out, Allred a pitch away from getting out of the inning with minimal damage. Gus ready, rocks, here comes the 2-2. Off speed, swung on and missed. So he does exactly that, as he gets 2 strikeouts in the inning, leaves a couple of men on base. However, Riverton gets a run on 1 hit. There was no errors, and they leave 2, and they hold a 1-0 lead. After a half inning, it's Riverton 1 and the Evanston Outlaws coming to bat on this first Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaws baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today. Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
When you're looking for one location that is centrally located in Wyoming to host a business meeting or corporate retreat, always consider the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper first. With meeting rooms and amenities that everyone can enjoy at the Come On In is the best place to host events. The rustic decor, fireplaces, jacuzzis, pool, and large indoor atrium will make your event memorable. Call today and find out the ways we can help make your event a success. Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper. Call 307-472-6300.
Half inning in the book. As we move along here to the bottom of the first inning, it'll be Caleb Gooding, Hank Allard, and then Allred, and then Gus Allred due up here in the Evanston half of the first inning. So good job by Gus Allred really to bow his neck and get out of really a serious jam that he was in, as he allowed the bases loaded with nobody out in the inning and allowed a run to come in on a little ground ball that was the first out of the inning, and after that punched out the next two batters and was able to leave a couple of men on base and only allowed one run in the inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the first, and here's Caleb Gooding to lead off. Gooding, who has moved up to the leadoff spot here in the lineup tonight, with the way things have gone for him recently, and he's 1 for 3 here in the tournament here in Pocatello. But that 333 batting average that he has just in the last 3 games means that he has moved up to second on the team in on-base percentage, and because of that, the head coach moved him up into the leadoff spot, as Jason feels that he's good enough to hit it in the top of the lineup. As the pitch taken for a strike, and it's 1-1. Here's Hauk's next pitch, a little half swing floater toward right field. Right fielder coming up, and he dropped the ball. So Saltgiver was camped under it, had it pop in and out of his glove. That'll go as an error, and Gooding reaches. No real sun issue right now, as the sun is setting out beyond left field in the left field corner, so the right fielder would have been looking right back into perfectly blue skies, but it had it popped out of his glove. So here's Hank Allred with the tying run over at first base. First pitch home to Hank is inside, ball 1. Allred, 1 for 4 yesterday, 2 for 9 in the tournament here. But he's had his struggles trying to put the ball into play. He has struck out 4 times in the 3 games. Next pitch to Allred, that's over for a strike, and it's 1-1. Gus Allred moves out on deck, and then the guy who's been the really hot bat, Jagger Mitchell, scheduled to hit 4th here in the inning, if they can get down to that spot. Gooding with a lead away from first, being held there. Out to the stretch, comes home, and a big roller toward third, as the third baseman Hutchison Fields throws across on a bounce, dug out at first base. Nice play by the first baseman Friday, and that's the first out. As Gooding moves up to second base. So the tying run in scoring position, and now the pitcher, number 3 hitter Gus Allred, comes up. Kind of a surprise, but Gus is one of the guys who has probably struggled maybe the most in these games so far here in Pocatello. Certainly he'll probably tell you that, as he has had 9 at-bats, official at-bats in the 3 games so far, as Gus tired of waiting and asks for and gets timeout, as the pitcher Hauk was waiting for his infielders to get back in position after trying to keep Gooding close at second base. And all that movement out there behind the pitcher kind of distracted Gus, and he called timeout. So he climbs back in. Allred, 0 for 3 yesterday, and now time called as now they want to get together. So the pitcher and catcher are having a hard time just figuring out if they're on the right set of signs or not, with Gooding standing at second base. So now they want to get together, because the last thing you want in an elimination game is to have somebody look at each other and go, well, I thought you were going to do this, and I thought you put down this. Well, they want to make sure. Better safe than sorry here in the first inning. So still no pitches to Gus Allred here in this at-bat as he climbs back in. We mentioned that Gus was 0 for 3 yesterday. That makes him 1 for 9 in the tournament, but the one hit that he had was a big one. As a breaking ball misses inside, ball 1 ball with no strikes. In the 6th inning of the first game on Wednesday afternoon, with Evanston trying to claw their way back into the game, Gus came up with men on base and hit a ball into the left center field gap, and by the time they got it back in, it was a triple, 2 runs that scored, and Evanston had got back within a couple of runs, but they got no closer than that, as that ball's rolled just foul outside of first. And a good thing it was foul, because Friday had it clank off his glove, and it would have got the run home. So the foul ball, 1 ball and 1 strike on Allred as he comes back to home plate with 1 out. Gooding at second base represents the tying run here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah. So we went from Evanston that night, got up at 6 o'clock the next morning, went to Lovell.
So a ball and a strike on Gus Allred, who climbs back in. Here's the 1-1. Jammed him, fought it off, and foul ground the third baseman coming over. That's Hutchison to make the catch. So there's 2 outs now. And now here is Jagger Mitchell. Jagger,
He's our senior out here on first base.
who they've only gotten him out 1 time this entire weekend so far, and that doesn't count against him, as it was not an official at-bat. The only time they got him out, what turned into a scoring fly ball, as he picked up an RBI, hits the ball on the ground wide of third. Hutchison has that, throws across in time, and that's the 3rd out. So he goes out as they finally retire Mitchell for the first time here this weekend. No runs, no hits, an error, and 1 left as the Outlaws are turned aside here in the bottom of the first inning. So it's Riverton 1, Evanston nothing on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaws baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
What do you do when you lose a tooth?
Put it under your pillow. Under my pillow. Like a treasure chest so you could put it in.
Why do you do that?
Because then the tooth fairy comes. For the tooth fairy. So the tooth fairy can come get them.
And then what happens?
I get money.
We may not be the tooth fairy, but we can still take care of your teeth. Bear River Dental in Evanston.
The best cement comes from Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. They've been mixing cement for every type of job for generations. Major construction, road and bridge, cement blocks, foundations, sidewalks, curb and gutter, cement steps, septic tanks, and water troughs. No job is too large or too small. Make sure you get the best quality cement available at the best prices. Always get your cement from Ellingford Brothers. Call today. Ellingford Brothers, we know cement. 307-789-1515.
One nothing Riverton after an inning here this afternoon. Here from Hawthorne Field in Pocatello, all part of the Hollowell complex of fields. Hollowell Field years ago was a minor league ballpark used by the old Pocatello Giants, and is now a busy place with not only this tournament being played this weekend. It's a home of 3 different high school teams during the high school baseball season, plus College of Southern Idaho plays their games there as well. So it's a busy place. It's hard to find a day when there isn't a game at Hollowell Field after the snow finally goes away and the sun comes back out in the spring. So we go to the second inning, and it'll be the bottom third of the order due up. Cotter Nosip, Braden Becker, and Branson Saltiger. And I know I'm butchering the name, and I apologize. So here's Nosip, the second baseman, first ball swinging, pops it up in the foul ground on the first base side. Schneider comes over to have a look, but he's going to run out of room. And it's 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Of course, we've talked a little bit about it over the last couple of days. This is really a purist baseball delight, as the breaking pitch swung out and missed, and it's 0-2. The purists saying that, well, baseball is meant to be played with wooden bats, and that's the way that all games should be played. Of course, aluminum bats came along just to kind of save the pocketbooks of parents, as that pitch is looked at for a called strike 3, and Nosip's is out on 3 pitches. So that's 3 strikeouts in a row now for Gus Allred. And now here's the catcher, Braden Baker, as he climbs in from the right side. And of course, the most famous and biggest of the bat manufacturers, first pitch hit foul off the first base side, of course, is Louisville Slugger, which originally was started by John A. Bud Hilrich, as the Louisville Slugger Company started way back in 1884, and now it's in its 4th generation of ownership, as the pitch is over for a strike, and it's 0-2. So he jumps ahead of Baker, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed. That's 4 strikeouts in a row now for Allred. He may have got off to a little bit of a shaky start in the first inning, but it looks like he's settling in well now, as there's 2 outs, and the number 9 hitter, Branson Saldiver, the right fielder who drew an error in the first inning when he dropped the fly ball hit by Caleb Gooding. First pitch, fastball for a strike. The folks at Louisville Slugger over the years, they have now produced over 10 million bats since they originally went into business. As the next pitch is up high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. They've had some 8,500 different people on endorsement contracts that they made a special autograph model bats for, as the 1-1 pitch missed outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. In fact, 80% of the members of the Baseball Hall of Fame were all under contract with Louisville Slugger, as the next pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 count. Allred says yes. Roxon comes home, the 2-2. Swung on and missed as he strikes out the side and strikes out 5 in a row. So nothing across for Riverton in the second inning. We'll go to the bottom of the second. They lead 1-0 over Evanston on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaw Baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
This First Bank of Wyoming broadcast of Outlaws Baseball is brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. Dr. Todd Hoover does all the chiropractic work you need, as well as blood work, dietary supplements, a weight loss program, x-rays, and he can help you get rid of migraines and allergies.
Two roads diverged in a wood, and I had
had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when 2 roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less traveled. Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Evanston threatened but did not score in the first inning, so we go along here to the bottom of the second. And here in the bottom of the second inning, they'll start with the third baseman, Bodie Wicks, followed by Clayton Moyles, and then Talon Crutchfield due up here for the Outlaws. So here's Wicks, and takes the first pitch low, ball 1. Wicks, with 1 hit yesterday, was 1 for 2 plus a walk, and has 3 hits in 8 at-bats and an RBI so far here in the tournament. In fact, his 3 hits is second high on the team overall, as that's line just foul outside third and down the line, and it's 1-1. The only other guy on the team who has more hits than he does was Jagger Mitchell, who was 4 for 4 overall on the tournament until he made out to end the bottom of the first inning when he grounded out to third. Next pitch home to Wicks, breaking ball stays high, and it's 2 balls and a strike. So we were talking about the Louisville Slugger Company and exactly what they have meant to baseball with their bat manufacturing over the last 100-plus years, and all the different major leaguers that have had endorsement deals with Louisville Slugger. As the next pitch is a breaking pitch to Wicks that misses ball 3, 3 balls and a strike. Louisville Slugger uses northern white ash to make their bats with, harvested from forests in both New York and in Pennsylvania, as the 3-1 pitch misses and Wicks draws a walk, and the leadoff man aboard here for the second inning in a row for Evanston. They threatened last inning, failed to score. Let's see what they can do here. So here's Clayton Moyle.
Clayton, nice drive now, huh?
Moyles hitless in the first 3 games of the tournament, 0 for 7, but he does have an RBI on a scoring fly ball yesterday in the games. And hits this ball in the air to short left field. Left fielder Rennie coming up. He's there and makes the catch. So Moyles flies out to left. That's the first out. Now here's Talon Crutchfield.
All right, you drive it next time.
So here's Crutchfield. Crutchfield had 1 at-bat yesterday, came in and closed out the game on the mound, and that he made it out in his 1 at-bat that he had yesterday afternoon. As that first pitch taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Each tree that the folks at Louisville Slugger harvest, they can get about 60 bats out of each tree. As that ball hit in the air toward left center field, they're giving chase, but there's the left fielder Renning to turn and make the catch just short of the fence. And going back to first base is Wicks, so he's there now with 2 outs. And from the time that they originally get the tree into the factory, it takes about 90 days for them to be able to turn a tree into a group of bats. As the drying process and then the milling process takes place. So here is Schneider, takes the first pitch over for a strike. Schneider was the player of the game yesterday, that's voted on by the players. As they've started something new, they have a replica WWF belt that they hand out after the game. As that pitch bounces up there, it'll be a wild pitch, and that's going to allow Wicks to go to second base. So, runner in scoring position with 2 outs. and to see if Schneider can pick him up. Schneider, who was named the player of the game yesterday because he came in relief and threw 3 2/3 innings of not only scoreless relief, but also didn't give up a hit in those 3 2/3 innings. The only runners they got against him was on a pair of walks that he gave up over those 3 innings. As he takes the pitch up high, ball 2 balls and a strike. So he was given the belt when they got back to the hotel last night after the vote of the players, and Schneider wore it well, literally. Here's the 2-1. Hit in the air, hit well toward left field. Again, Rennick going back and gets to just short of the wall and makes the catch. And after the leadoff walk, 3 straight fly balls to left field, and the Outlaws are gone here in the second inning. No runs, no hits, a walk and 1 left, as Evanston's left a man on base in each inning so far, but failed to advance him and get even in the game. So done with 2. It's Riverton 2, Evanston nothing on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaws baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
The big difference that sets Freeway Tire apart from other tire stores is the fact that we care. We care about the customer service we provide, we care about selling quality products at fair prices, and we care about your vehicle. So when you're looking for tires or having work done on your vehicle, everything from maintenance to major repairs, make sure you take it to the company that really cares, Freeway Tires, on Bear River Drive in Evanston. Stop in today or schedule an appointment with us online at freewaytires.com.
As your local Ricoh, Toshiba, and Sharp dealer, Mountain West Business Solutions represents quality office equipment that lasts. We work with each client to understand your workflow, your goals, and your bottom line. Whether you lease or purchase office equipment, we have many ways to work with you to provide the best products at the best value. We also service and provide supplies for HP printers. Call Mountain West Business Solutions today. Let us help you find the best solutions for you and your business.
Third inning, 1-0. Riverton with the lead as Gus Allred getting ready to go back to work here in the top of the third. And here in the top of the third inning, we go back to the top of the order. Nathan Hutchison, Chris Rennick, Blake Dale do up. Here's Hutchison, who has scored the only run of the game, tripled into right center field, and came home 3 batters later when Houck hit a ground ball to second with the bases loaded and nobody out in the top of the first inning. And that's all. That's all the runs that have come home so far. So here's the first pitch to Hutchison, and the breaking ball that's down low, ball 1 ball and no strikes. We told you that Louisville Slugger, who's had produced and had close to 10,000 players under endorsement deals now to make those autographed bats for them over the years. Of course, the first person they had under contract to make autographed bats for was Honus Wagner way back in 1905. Next pitch, that's over for a strike. And they have 2 balls and a strike on the board, so we'll go with that. Allred ready again. Here comes the 2-1. Hit in the air to center as they broke in, then had to go back on the ball, and making the catch was Moyles. He broke in and then realized the ball was going to be over his head, and they had to go back and get it. So there's 1 out, and now here's Chris Rennick, who walked his first time up. Some of those other players over the years that have had Louisville Slugger endorsement deals include folks like Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, Stan Musial. As the first pitch here to Rennick over for a strike. Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench, the great Harmon Killebrew, Lou Brock. George Brett, Robin Yount, Tony Gwynn, Ozzie Smith, and Don Mattingly as the next pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch on the way, and it's swung on and missed as he blows Rennig away with his 6th strikeout. And that's the second out here in the top of inning number 3, and that'll bring up Blake Dale, who also walked his first time up. A lot of people think it's an old wise tale, but the folks at Louisville Slugger say no, it's absolutely true. The idea of remember to hold the bat with the trademark up, and they say that for a reason, because they inspect each bat before the trademark is blazoned into the bat, as here's the first pitch to Dale, swung on and missed. They find the spot where the grain is the widest on the side of the bat. That would be the weakest area on the bat, and that's where they engrave the bat with the label and the autograph logo out on the barrel end of the bat. So when they tell you to hold the bat with the label up as the pitch misses inside, it's 1-2. They know what they're talking about because they have placed the label there on purpose. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed.
Come on, bud.
Nope, I guess now it was 1-2. I thought we had 2 strikes on him before, but I guess not. So it's 1-2 now on Dale. So a ball and 2 strikes. All red ready. Here comes the 1-2. Hit in the air toward right field. Gooding comes over. Now has to come up. He's there. Makes the catch. And for the second inning in a row, Gus Allred sets the side down in order. 1-2-3. We're through 2.5. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0 Riverton on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaw Baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
Gee, Tommy, you look amazing. Did you try something different with your enamel?
No way. I wouldn't do anything to alter these pearly whites, but I did see Dr. McKay Frankham, who told me if I didn't floss, I could miss up 35% of food particles.
Really? He told you that?
Yep, and you know what? He's 100% right. I started flossing, and now I look better than ever.
Wow, I want to see Dr. McKay Frankham.
Well, give him a call. 307-789-8910. Easy to remember, right?
That's super easy. Dr. McKay Frankham at 307-789-8910. I'll call today.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Bottom of the third inning, still 1-0 Riverton. As here in the bottom of the third inning, we apologize, adjusting the camera there. The Outlaws will start from the bottom of the order. The number 9 hitter, Ryan Baldwin. Then back to the top of the order, Caleb Gooding and Hank Allred will come up here in this inning. Here's the first pitch to Baldwin. That's over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Baldwin with 3 hits in 8 at-bats here during the tournament, so he's doing well also. As the right-hander Hauk ready again and comes home. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-2.
Get bat him and drive, Ryan. Here we go.
So no balls and 2 strikes. Hauk ready again, rocks and comes home in the 0-2 offering. Bounces up there, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now. So a ball and 2 strikes. As the next pitch is lined right to the third baseman. Hutchison able to come off the line and snag that ball before it could go out into left field. So we'll line out to the third baseman for the first out. And we go back to the top of the order, and Caleb Gooding is due up again. Gooding hit a little fly ball to right field. Saltgiver, the right fielder, was camped under it and had it pop in and out of his glove for an error. As the first pitch here to Gooding is up high, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes.
Oh, it's amazing. My oldest son, he grew after he got out of high school.
Next pitch, that's over for a strike. And it's 1-1. We told you that one of the early sponsorship endorsers that Louisville Slugger had was Babe Ruth. And he was loyal to the Hillrich and Bradsby label, makers of Louisville Slugger, for years. As the pitch rolled foul when it's 1-2. In fact, he credited the invention of the modern baseball bat, or at least the evolution of it, as being one of the biggest reasons why he had hit so many home runs. The 1-2 is up high. You see, the first bats that Louisville Slugger had made back in the Honus Wagner days, they didn't have, well, what we would refer to now as the knob or the bottle cap on the end of the bat. The wood just slowly disappeared and was cut off. Ground ball to third. Nice play by Hutchinson. Straightens and throws across for the out. Babe Ruth said that was one of the biggest parts that turned him into such a good hitter, was because his bottom hand wouldn't fly off the bat anymore with that bottle cap there. And a lot of guys have said the same things over the years. In fact, that first year, as here's the first pitch to Allred, swung on and missed. That first year that Babe Ruth took possession of bats from the folks at Louisville Slugger, he would hit a total of 29 home runs that led the league. That was still kind of during the dead ball era. That was in 1919. As the pitch rolled foul again by Allred, and he's behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 the count. And the 0-2 pitch on the way to Hank Allred. Big breaking ball stays high. One of the greatest exhibits in the museum there at Louisville Slugger in downtown Louisville, one of the greatest items is a bat used by Babe Ruth during the 1927 season when he hit the 60 home runs. The 1-2 pitch, ground ball to third. Hutchison backs up to get a hop. Now he has to straighten, throw across, and in time to get him. So he continues to pick it over there at third, does Nathan Hutchison, as he gets all 3 outs again here in the inning. And once again, the Outlaws are gone in order, 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the 4th. After 3 innings complete, it's still 1-0 Riverton on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaw Baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
In May of 2019, Uintah County School District Number 1 became the first school district in Wyoming to achieve a certified level 1 on high reliability schools by the Rosanna Leadership Center. We're focusing on 3 levels. Level 1 is a safe and collaborative culture. Level 2, effective teaching in every classroom. And Level 3 is a guaranteed and viable curriculum. We are certified Level 1 in safe and collaborative culture. This is Superintendent Ryan Thomas. Congratulations to everyone in our district. Keep up the great work.
Uintah County School District Number 1, Pathway to Excellence.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Red Devils! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
Still 1-0 as we go here to the fourth inning here this afternoon, as Gus Allred, who has retired 9 men in a row since the walk to Blake Dale in the first inning that loaded the bases. And since then, even though they scored on a ground ball, he hasn't given up anything since then as far as offense. So he's completing his warm-up tosses as Hank Allred, a little tardy getting out there after putting the catching gear back on after he made the last out. Gives us a chance to remind you that should Evanston win here this afternoon, that they would play at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And they would play the winner of the game coming up later tonight between Shelley and the Pocatello Rebels. If they lose, well, they'd be done, and they'd be back on the van and heading home. So here's Hunter Houck, the pitcher, to lead off here in the fourth. Houck 0 for 1, had the ground ball to second base that they had to go to first base and get the out as he hits the pitch foul back into the screen. And when Baldwin did that, it allowed the run to come in the first inning, and that's been the only run scored in the game thus far. Allred ready again. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed on the breaking pitch, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. You know, we were talking about the bat that Babe Ruth had hit so many home runs during that 1927 season. He hit 21 home runs, a third of his 60 home runs that year. As that ball hit in the air along the left field line, and it's going to be foul, and it stays at no balls and 2 strikes. So he hit 21 home runs with this bat until it broke. And he wanted to make sure he had more bats like that, or at least try to, so he sent it back to the folks at Louisville Slugger so they could study the bat and how it was actually milled and put together. Well, fortunately, someone had the foresight to take that bat and put it into safekeeping somewhere at the Louisville Slugger Factory Museum. As the pitch again hit foul, stays at 0-2. And it proudly adorns the museum there at Louisville Slugger to this day.
It's so
So no balls and 2 strikes on Hunter Houck, the pitcher, leading off here in the top of the fourth. Next pitch again, hit foul back into the screen. It was late on a good fastball from Gus Allred and just barely got a piece of it to hit it foul. Ruth, who was like an Old West gunslinger, and by that we mean he loved to keep count of how many home runs he hit with a bat, as a breaking ball in the dirt, 1-2. And like an Old West gunslinger, he would put a notch in each bat for each home run that it hit. So they know that the bat that they had sent back to the factory and now sits in the museum is authentic because it has 21 of Ruth's little notches engraved into the bat. Here's the 1-2. Hit in the air towards center field. Coming up and going out is the shortstop Mitchell. It'll be Mitchell to make the catch. So the pop up to the shortstop. That's the first out. That's 10 in a row now, retired by Gus Allred. Now here is Aquio Friday, who struck out his first time up. That started the string of the 5 consecutive strikeouts for Allred between the first and second innings here in this game this afternoon. First pitch to Aqueos. That's over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Of course, not all the bats that Louisville Slugger made came back to them, but certainly they were very unique given by the unique individual who had each bat. As a pitch hit foul again, and it's 0-2 on Uruguayo Friday. For example, Ted Williams was so fussy about his bats, he had complained once to the folks at Louisville Slugger that a new shipment of bats that he'd had, that he said the handles were too thick and it wasn't comfortable for him. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, missed, dropped at home plate. He's got to find it. He kicked it. Now he throws and not in time at first base. So it'll be a strikeout. We'll call it a wild pitch with a pitch in the dirt. So a strikeout wild pitch, but that allows Friday to reach first base. And even though it's the 7th strikeout by Gus Allred, it breaks the string of 9 straight batters. Check that, 10 straight batters, I should say, failing to reach base. So it's the first error of it's the first wild pitch, I should say, thrown by Allred. There's a fastball here to Derek Davies. Misses outside, ball 1. So Ted Williams told the folks at Louisville Slugger, these bats you sent me, the handle is too thick. It's not comfortable for me. It's not the way that all my other bats have been made over the years. Allred's going to go to first base and back to the bag safely as Friday. Well, when the bats got back to the Louisville Slugger factory, they started measuring. And indeed, the handle of Williams' bat was thicker than what all the other bats that he had gotten, as they mistakenly, when they hand developed the bat on the lathes, the handles of the bat, believe it or not, were all of 5/10,000ths of an inch thicker than what all the other bats were. But Ted Williams could feel the difference and knew it, and they weren't comfortable to him. So they had to redo him, and they sent him back. 2 balls and no strikes here on Davies. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Still 1-0. Riverton on top. Here comes the 2-0 pitch on the way. That's over for a strike, and it's 2-1. You want to know how exacting Ted Williams was with his bats? The president of Louisville Slugger, J.A. Hillrich, the late president of the company, he wanted to test Williams and see if he really could tell the difference between the bats. Ground ball wide of third, that's into left field for a base hit. Going to second base is Friday. He'll stop there. So it's a single for Davies. Just the second hit of the game for the Raiders. And puts runners at first and second with 1 out. Now here's Carter Nosip, who struck out his first time up. So A.J. Hillrich grabbed 6 bats, and he wanted to test Williams. 5 of the bats were exactly the same length, same weight, everything. It measured exactly the same. One of the bats was a half an ounce heavier than the other 5. First pitch here to Nosip is over for a strike, and it's 0-1. When Williams picked up the bats, he picked up each bat individually, and when he finally got to the 6th bat, he said, yep, this is it. This is the one that's heavier than the rest, and he was absolutely right. Ball in the dirt, gets away from Allred, and that's going to allow both runners to move up 90 feet. So Friday goes to third, Davies down to second, and they're in scoring position with just 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Williams, he took such pride in the relationship that he had with the folks at Louisville Slugger that each spring he would actually go to the Louisville Slugger plant. He would go right straight through the offices, past all the management people, and go right to the floor where the bats were made. Ground ball to third, holds the runner, goes to first in time for the out. Nice play by Bodie Wicks. So Nosip is out. That's the second out of the inning. And now here is the catcher, Brandon Baker. he would go down and he would greet all the people on the production floor at the bat company. He knew them all by name. He'd go around and he'd say hello. He would get rid of his coat, put on an overcoat so he wouldn't get his clothes dirty. He would then go up and climb the ladders, and Ted Williams would go up and he would hand select the wood that he wanted to have milled down into his own personal bats. And he did that for years. In fact, Ted Williams once was quoted to say, "Without Louisville Slugger bats, I would have simply been a 290 hitter." So here's Baker. He takes the first pitch high, ball one on a fastball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. And the stories about the folks, the players who have used Louisville Slugger bats go on and on. As the next pitch is outside. 2 balls and a strike. 2 balls and no strikes, I should say. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed. Threw it past him. It's 2-1. As picky as Ted Williams was about his bats, Mickey Mantle couldn't have been more aloof about his bats. In fact, Mantle would oftentimes use bats that didn't even belong to him. He just picked up one that looked good from time to time as the pitch swung on and missed, and it's 2-2. Mantle one time picked up a model bat that belonged to Lauren Babe. As here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and Allred gets out of the inning. Another strikeout. That's his 8th of the game. No runs, a hit, a strikeout, and a wild pitch, and they end up leaving 2 in the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. We'll talk more about Mickey Mantle and his bats when we come back after 3.5. It's still Riverton 1, Evanston nothing on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaw Baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
This First Bank of Wyoming broadcast of Outlaws Baseball is brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. Dr. Todd Hoover does all the chiropractic work you need, as well as blood work, dietary supplements, a weight loss program, x-rays, and he can help you get rid of migraines and allergies.
Trona Valley Federal Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial institution. When you become a member, you are an owner of the credit union. We believe in people over profit, and that impacts the way we do business from our overall structure down to the smallest detail. Our philosophy sets us apart, and we're here for you. Earn more with our high-yield checking account, start a savings goal, check out our competitive loans, and much more. Become a member today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. Member NCUA.
Bottom of the 4th inning, still 1-0 Riverton, as the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the Outlaws here in the bottom of the 4th. Excuse me, that's Gus Allred, Jagger Mitchell, and Bodie Wicks due up here in the inning.
He's doing a good job.
You know what? They drove fast in one.
My partner who's making me right there. I got a few seconds.
She pulled out a picture from the beginning of the year. He's changed.
So here's Gus Allred to lead off.
It's amazing how much they do change.
Here in the bottom of the 4th. We apologize. The picture is getting a little hard to see because the sun's starting to go down and shine right directly into the lens, which making the picture a little darker. Just hang with us, and as the sun continues to go down, that picture will become a little bit more visible again. As the first pitch here to Gus Allred is up high, ball 1. Hawks 1-0 pitch on the way. Hit in the air, in the infield. Playable, and it'd be who? This would be the third baseman. Why not? Hutchison comes over and makes another play. So that's 1 out. Now here's Jagger Mitchell. Anyway, we're telling you about Mickey Mantle, who one day picked up a bat who was a Lauren Babe autograph model bat produced by the folks at Louisville Slugger. Now, Babe didn't hit a whole lot of home runs, but the bat that was picked up by Mickey Mantle, he hit off the roof at Old Griffith Stadium in right field. As the first pitch here to Mitchell is up and in, ball one ball with no strikes. Another time, Mandel had picked up a bat that belonged to Dale Long, as that ball's pulled foul, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And Mandel proved that even a Dale Long bat could hit home runs, as he bounced the ball off the upper deck facade at Old Yankee Stadium. And another of his famous home runs were hit. Now together, the bats for Long and Babe hit a total of 134 home runs in their major league careers, as the next pitch misses again, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. That 134 total major league home runs was 402 fewer than Mantle had hit overall by himself in his career. Ground ball to short, up with it across his Dale to throw him out. So there's 2 outs, and now here's Bodie Wicks, who walked his first time up, got as far as second base and was left there. So certainly Mantle not as picky about his bats as Ted Williams was about his. Mantle once wrote that he was asked by the Louisville Slugger people to write down some ideas about how to hit. He went on to say, at first he thought they were kidding, that they wanted him to explain how to be such a great hitter. As the first pitch here to Wicks misses down low, ball 1. Mantle went on to say, if they asked me to strike out, which he did a lot, that he would have been probably the perfect authority on who to ask, but not how to hit. As the 1-0 pitch to Wicks is up high again, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 misses outside, ball 3. So Houck falls behind Bodie Wicks, 3 balls and no strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Clayton Moyles waiting on deck to see if he gets a chance to swing here. And the 3-0 pitch as Bodie shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes the strike, and it's 3-1. Now here's the 3-1 pitch to Wicks. Grounded foul outside of third, and it'll fill the count. And we'll come back and do it again here with 3-2 and 2 outs here in the inning. So 3-2 the count on Bodie Wicks. Here at the bottom of the 4th in a 1-0 game. Houck says yes. Roxon comes home. Here's the 3-2. Hit in the air to left. Coming over to have to play it on a bounce is Renning. As Wicks has a hit. And that is the first hit of the game by Evanston here this afternoon. So a 2-out single. Now here's Clayton Moyles. So here's Moyles with 2 outs. Wicks over at first. Moyles flew out to left his first time up. And the first ball swing rolls it foul as it comes back here by the backstop, and it's 0-1. We told you about Yogi Berra the other day, and why exactly that the folks at Louisville Slugger put that trademark on the weakest part of the bat and want you to hold the bat to where when you swing it, it would be on the back where the tightest grain, the strongest part of the bat would make contact with the ball. Well, Berra wouldn't do that. And they, at length, tried to convince him to do so. He quit breaking bats. Barra told the folks from the Louisville Slugger, says, hey, look, I'm here to hit, not read. I'm not going to pay particular attention where the label is. I don't care on what side of the bat it's on. As the next pitch misses outside, it's 1-2. So Louisville Slugger had to go to great lengths to find very tight grain all the way around the wood to make bats for Yogi Berra. That way, when he did hit, when he wasn't going to look at where the label was, he would still be able to hit and not break the bat, as the pitch to Moyle is swung on and missed. And down go the Outlaws here in the bottom of the fourth. No runs, a hit, and one man left. We're done with 4. Still 1-0 Riverton on this presentation, on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation, I should say, of Outlaws baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
What do you do when you lose a tooth?
Put it under your pillow. Under my pillow. Like a treasure chest, so you could put it in.
Why do you do that?
Because then the tooth fairy comes. For the tooth fairy, so the tooth fairy can come get them.
And then what happens?
I get money.
We may not be the tooth fairy, but we can still take care of your teeth. Bear River Dental in Evanston.
The best cement comes from Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. They've been mixing cement for every type of job for generations. Major construction, road and bridge, cement blocks, foundations, sidewalks, curb and gutter, cement steps, septic tanks, and water troughs. No job is too large or too small. Make sure you get the best quality cement available at the best prices. Always get your cement from Ellingford Brothers. Call today. Ellingford Brothers, we know cement. 307-789-1515.
New pitcher coming in here for Evanston as we move along here to the top of the 5th inning, as the new pitcher in is Grayson Smith. So Gus Allard's day is done, as Allred will stay in the game and play first base, and we'll try to find the appropriate coordinating changes to go with it. But Smith now comes in to pitch. Allred goes 4 innings, gave up just 2 hits, 1 run that was earned. He walked 2 in the first inning and ended up striking out 8. But he leaves trailing in the game, so he can lose or he could have nothing to do with it, depending on if Evanston can come back and tie the game or not. As Grayson Smith ready to go to work as he comes in here in the top of the 5th inning. So 1-0 Riverton. So the top of the 5th. And it'll be Braden Salkberger, and then back to the top of the order, Nathan Hutchinson and Chris Rennig do up the 9-1-2 hitters here for Riverton here in the top of the 5th. Salkberger has 0 for 1 on the day, struck out. One of the 8 strikeouts recorded by Gus Allred while he was in there. And Grayson Smith ready to go to work as they go from the left-hander to the right-hander. We're trying to look around and see where we can find where the other players have gone. It looks like Schneider moves into right field, and I'm guessing that Gooding may be out of the game, is what I can tell. First pitch missed for a strike, or a ball from Smith. The next pitch in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0 the count on the Riverton right fielder. Smith says yes, and the right-hander rocks and comes home. The 2-0 is stroked towards center field, and coming over to get it is Moyles as he'll get it back in. So they lead off here against the new pitcher, and the first man that he faces singles to center. That's their third hit of the game. And the leadoff man aboard for just the second time in the game in 5 innings. But now we go back to the top of the order, Nathan Hutchison, who scored the only run of the game thus far when he tripled in the first inning, and after they loaded the bases on a pair of walks, came in on a ground out. So here's Hutchison. And the first pitch, fastball for a strike. So no balls and 1 strike. Runner over at first base, being held there by Allred. As Smith goes over to first base, and Solviger diving back into the bag. We had a little pretty good breeze earlier about game time. It has really stopped now as everything is pretty much dead still. As the pitch in the dirt gets away from Allred, and there goes the runner for second base. That's another wild pitch. That's the third wild pitch against Evanston pitchers today. And with nobody out, puts the man at second base. 1 ball and 1 strike on Hutchison. Outfield straightaway. Schneider maybe a few extra steps over into the gap in left center field, kind of pinching the middle against the right-hand hitter, Hutchison. The 1-1 pitch. Hutchison shows bunt, leaves it in Allred's glove. It'll cost him a strike, and it's now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Smith up on top, shakes his head no a couple of times, looks back at second base. Holding, and Hutchison, tired of waiting, asks for and gets timeout. You know, some of the most unusual bats that Louisville Slugger had produced were made for Stan Musial. When he was called up by the St. Louis Cardinals back in September of 1941, Musial gave the fans of what they were going to be able to look for in the coming years. In that last month of the season, he was first in the big leagues. Musial hit .426 for the month as the pitch is on the outside corner for a strike, and they called strike 3. The first out of the inning as Hutchison goes down on strikes. First strikeout for Smith, 9th strikeout overall of Riverton hitters. And now here's Chris Rennig, who struck out his last time up. He's also walked. In his 21-year career with the Cardinals, Musial finished with a career .331 batting average and had 3,630 hits overall in his career. Pitch down low, ball 1. This is in the dirt, nice save this time by Allred to keep it from going to the backstop. Musial talked about the bats that he ordered and had made by Louisville Slugger, as they were some of the thinnest bats that Louisville Slugger had ever produced. The 1-0. Fastball is high. Snap throw back to second, not in time. The bats that Musial had made, he described as a bat with a Babe Ruth-style handle and a Jimmy Fox barrel. So almost the same dimension from handle all the way to the end of the barrel. 2-0 the count here on Rennig. And here's the 2-0 pitch. Popped up along the right field line. Slicing foul. Good thing, too, because Schneider was nowhere near getting to it. So it's a foul ball. Everybody will go back, and it's now 2-1. After Musial would get the bats, he would scrape down the handle that made it even thinner. Musial said he scraped the handles of the bats to get a better grip. No, he didn't like pine tar, so that's why he had to get a better grip, wanted a better grip on the bats, because he didn't like the way that pine tar made his hands feel. Here's the 2-1. That's hit foul, and is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The bat that Musial liked was 33 ounces, 34.5 inches long, and as the season progressed, he would slowly move to a lighter bat, and by the end of the year, he was using a 31-ounce bat. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Kind of changed speeds on Rennig. Swang through it, and now there's 2 outs. So that'll bring up the shortstop, Blake Dale, who's walked and flew out to right. 2 down, runner at second. Still 1-0 in favor of the Riverton Raiders. And here's Dale, who tried to pick up the man at second base. First pitch to Dale, fastball for a strike. We told you that Musial finished with 3,630 hits in his major league career, and he was just as good a hitter at home as he was on the road. 0-1 pitch, missed down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. In fact, Musial collected 1,815 hits at home and the exact same number, 1,815 on the road. There's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball, that missed outside. 2 balls and a strike. So 2-1, 2 outs, top of the 5th. Runner away from second base, pretty good lead. Smith holds, looks at him, and the pitch home popped up in the infield. Mitchell on the infield surface of the dirt and able to make the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. We're done with 4.5. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 1-0 Riverton on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaw Baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
Do you really think you can get a better deal on a vehicle in the city? Poppycock! Rocky Mountain Yeti is hungry for your business and will beat any bona fide deal on any vehicle, or they'll give it to you as a gift. Now that's legendary. Rocky Mountain Yeti Evanston, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile legendary warranty, where legendary customer service is not a myth.
Time flies, especially when you're having fun. This is Jeremy Rex, manager at T-Bar S in Evanston. It's hard to believe that we've been here almost a year with our new management team and staff. Did you know that you can have your vehicle detailed, your windshield replaced, chip repair done, or get your trailer refinished or rewired at T-Bar S? Of course, we are a full-service collision repair shop, too. You can even change your oil and your brakes. Visit T-Bar S today. Let T-Bar fix your car. 515 County Road, Evanston.
Bottom of the 5th inning now, still 1-0. As Evanston's been held to just 1 hit. In fact, they've only had 3 men on base. 1 hit. Hunter Hauk has yielded 1 walk, and also they've had a man reach base on an error, and that's it. They've had 3 men on base through the first 4 innings. So here in the bottom of the 5th, it's Talon Crutchfield, Jaden Schneider, and then Ryan Baldwin, the bottom third of the order. Crutchfield, 0 for 1, flew out to left. As he climbs in, the first pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Outfield straight away against Crutchfield. Crutchfield, who's 0 for 5 with a walk so far, hitless in the tournament here in Pocatello, and rolls the ball foul, and it's 0-2. Once again, the winner moves on to play tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And the loser will go home as we move into the survive and advance portion of the tournament now after the seeding rounds played over the last couple of days. As the 1-0-2 pitch is up high, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Houck has pitched pretty well. Kind of dodged in and out of troubles, changing speeds and locations as the pitch fouled into the glove of the catcher. That's a strikeout. That's the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. Just the second strikeout for Houck. And now here is Jaden Schneider, who flew out to left his first time up. So he struck out the last 2 batters that he's faced, and that's the only 2 strikeouts that he has in the game here so far. So here's Schneider. And the first pitch to Schneider is down low, ball 1. We talked about Schneider and winning the Player of the Game award yesterday. He was given that imitation WWE belt that they found someplace as the pitch swung out and missed, and it's 1-1. We told you that he wore it proudly. Well, he did. In fact, after he was given the belt, he wore it around the hotel the rest of the evening last night. Most of the team got up and went down and hung around the pool to relax this morning. And Schneider again wore the belt down to the pool as a bunt attempt is bunted foul. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, the team went as a unit. The entire team walked over to a restaurant just a block or so away from the hotel. And Schneider, wouldn't you know it, wore the belt, walked over to the hotel, and then wore it to lunch. As Schneider swings and misses and strikes out. 3rd strikeout for Houck, second out here in the bottom of the 5th. And that brings up Ryan Baldwin, who hit a ball hard, but hit it right at the third baseman Hutchison his last time up for an out. So here's Baldwin. 0 for 1 on the day, and the first pitch home from Houck. It's lined again right at the third baseman. So for the second time today, he hits a ball right on the screws. For the second time today, he hits it right at Hutchison for an out. We're done with 5. It's still 1-0 Riverton on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaw Baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
Whatever takes you to Evanston, whether it's high school sports, a teaching conference, music festivals, speech and debate, or your job, always book your hotel reservations at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With 165 ground-level rooms on 10 acres, the Best Western offers everything you need, including newly renovated rooms, a business office, workout room, outdoor pool, and full-service restaurant, plus complimentary breakfast with every stay. Whenever you're in Evanston, make your hotel reservations with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds. Plus job listings, fun giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch live as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches, catch up on local and regional news, and get accurate weather conditions and forecasts. Visit mylocalradio.com, like us on Facebook, and stream it all now.
Now the game moving along quickly as we go here to the top of the 6th inning. Still a 1-0 ball game. As Creighton Smith will move into his 2nd inning in relief of Gus Allred. The game was going on next door is now final. I'm not sure exactly what the score was as they cleared the scoreboard already. That game was Thunder Ridge and Ridgeline. And it was tied last time I looked up, so I'm not exactly sure how that game ended as they get ready for the Shelley and Pocatello Rebels game, who the winner of that game will face the winner of this game coming up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. That would be the semifinal matchup, one of two semifinals. And then the final game of the tournament for the silver bracket, which is the bracket that the Outlaws are in, would be tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves as still have some work to do here as the Outlaws trail 1-0 as we go here to the 6th. Middle of the order due up here for the Raiders as the pitcher Hunter Houck, who's spun a dandy, will lead it off, and the first pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. He's allowed just one hit, struck out 3 over 5 innings, and is yet to allow a run. Here's the 0-1. Hit foul back into the screen, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. In talking with the coaching staff of the Outlaws earlier, they're going to be playing in another wood bat tournament coming up in a couple of weeks, as they'll be playing in a tournament down in the Salt Lake Valley area over the 4th of July holiday coming up in a couple of weeks. As the 0-2 pitch bounces up there, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. They didn't know the exact locations they'd be playing yet. They thought it could be anywhere from Heber over to Orem, where they played a few weeks ago, or they could be, some of the games could go even as far east as up into the Park City area, as the 1-2 pitch misses down and away, and it's 2-2. But that's coming up over the 4th of July weekend, and Elon will have those games for you coming up here on K9 and on mylocalradio.com. 2-2 pitch, again misses down low, runs the count full, 3-2. So full count to the leadoff man here in the top of the 6th, Hunter Houck. Houck's 0 for 2, grounded out but drove in the only run of the game in the process back in the first inning, and he's also popped up to short. Smith ready, here comes the 3-2. Hit foul off the first base side, and the count stays full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So getting outs when you can becomes even more important now for Smith, as you want to keep the game 1-0 and keep your team within striking distance, as the next pitch again rolled foul up along the third base side. So again, the count stays full, 3-2 to the leadoff man, Hunter Houck, here in the top of the 6th. This is not the time to allow the opponent to score cheap runs as we work into the last couple innings of the game. We still have plenty of time. We're still about 30 minutes away from the 2-hour time limit as the 3-2 pitch this time is outside, ball 4. So the leadoff man aboard. First walk given up by Smith. Just the 3rd walk allowed by Outlaw pitching here this afternoon. And now here is Aquio Friday, who struck out on a pitch in the dirt that bounced between the legs of Hank Allred and went to the backstop. And Friday was able to reach on the wild pitch, but eventually was left out on the bases anyway. Hits a ground ball to the right side. They'll go to second. They'll get one there. The return throw is in time, double play. I thought that ball was hit much too slow, but they were able to turn it. Baldwin to Mitchell and back over to Allred. 4-6-3 for the twin killing. So 2 outs, bases empty. And now here is the center fielder, Derek Davies. Davies struck out, singled, 1 for 2 on the day. So what a big time for the Evanston infield to turn the double play. As now with 2 outs and nobody on, Davies takes the first pitch up high, ball 1, 1-0. Big turn by Jager Mitchell at shortstop for that double play as it pitches a fastball for a strike, 1-1. He got that ball right on stride on a perfect feed from Schneider and threw an absolute blur back over to first base. The 1-1. Lined at Schneider for the third out. So Schneider able to glove it. And no hits in the inning, no runs. A walk, but thanks to the double play ground ball, nobody left. And we'll go to the bottom of the sixth. Still 1-0 Riverton on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaw Baseball on K9 and on mylocalradio.com.
Hey, rise up, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Rise up! Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, right now. Right now. Mason Smith is the batter. We need it right there. Mason, hey, good.
Do you really think you can get a better deal on a vehicle in the city? Poppycock! Rocky Mountain Yeti is hungry for your business and will beat any bona fide deal on any vehicle, or they'll give it to you as a gift. Now that's legendary. Rocky Mountain Yeti Evanston, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile legendary warranty, where legendary customer service is not a myth.
Time flies, especially when you're having fun. This is Jeremy Rex, manager at T-Bar S in Evanston. It's hard to believe that we've been here almost a year with our new management team and staff. Did you know that you can have your vehicle detailed, your windshield replaced, chip repair done, or get your trailer refinished or rewired at T-Bar S? Of course, we are a full-service collision repair shop, too. You can even change your oil and your brakes. Visit T-Bar S today. Let T-Bar fix your car. 515 County Road, Evanston.
Bottom of the sixth inning, and outs start to become a little precious now for the Evanston Outlaws with only 6 outs left here in the game. As we go to the bottom of the sixth, we'll go back to the top of the order, and Grayson Smith will lead off, and he'll get his first at-bat of the game. He'll be followed by Hank Allred and then Gus Allred, the leadoff 1, 2, and 3 hitters in the lineup here for Evanston. So here's Smith. And Hunter Houck stays out there, and the first pitch hits Smith. So a hit batter, and that will send Crayon Smith down to first base. That's the first hit batter today by either side, and just the second free pass given up by the pitcher Hunter Houck. So the leadoff man over at first. Here's Hank Allred. Twice has hit the ball hard, but twice has grounded out to third. And hits this one again right at the third baseman Hutchison. He'll go to second. There's one. No return throw, as it'll be a force play. Smith is out 5-4 at second base for the first out of the inning. So here now is Gus Allred. Allred also has hit the ball to the third baseman a couple of times today, fouled out and popped up. He's 0 for 2. If you're thinking that Hutchison has been involved in a lot of outs in this game today for the Riverton Raiders, you're right. Evanston has hit the ball at Hutchison a total of 8 times. First pitch a ball to Allred. They go back over to first, and Hank Allred hops back on the bag. So here's Gus 0 for 2. Hank out to a pretty good lead over at first base. Houck comes home, and the pitch, there he goes on a late break. Delayed steal by Allred, and he steals it. So a little delayed steal by Hank Allred. Caught the caught the catcher Baker napping a little bit as he was able to steal the base. Now it takes a moment to kind of walk around and dust off some of that Pocatello real estate off the front of his uniform. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike now on Gus Allred with the tying run at second base. You can hear the Evanston dugout in the background coming alive, barking out instructions, and the pitch to Allred hit foul. And it's now 1-2. Jagger Mitchell waits on deck. He's 0 for 2, has hit the ball on the ground to the left side in his 2 at-bats. So 1-2 on Allred. Hank Allred with a walking lead away from second base. Time called as Gus not ready to hit. And asks for and gets timeout from the home plate umpire. There's so much noise and racket coming out of the Evanston dugout. I'm just not sure how Gus Allred can concentrate. And that might have been part of the reason why he asked for timeout, because they got really rambunctious before that last pitch. Now the 1-2. Off-speed breaking ball stays high, and it's 2-2. The Riverton Brain Trust starting to pace a little bit over in the dugout as they go over to look at the lineup card for a minute. Now walk back over and sit down. Getting a little bit more nervous by each pitch as that ball's lined into right field for a hit. They'll hold Allred at third as he got a late break, and there'll be runners at their corners and 1 out. So just the second hit in the game as Gus Allred pulls one through the right side. And now here's Jagger Mitchell, who's grounded out twice. So 1 out. All Mitchell has to do is get a ball out of the infield and tie the game. As Hank Allred standing at third, Gus Allred over at first with 1 out. Outfield straight away against Jagger. And here's the first pitch. Reaches out, pokes it, pops it up, but it's going to go foul as it finds its way up into the trees off the third base side. As they look down to the third base coach, reminds him to keep his weight back, don't get so far out on his front foot like he was on that last swing. So 0-1 the count. They go to first base, and Gus dives back into the bag. And all the time, Mitchell waits at home plate, doesn't even back out of the box. He's anxious to see a pitch. And the 0-1 hit foul, and it's 0-2. So Mitchell, who was 4 for 4 with a scoring fly ball and a couple of walks. He was also hit twice in the first 3 games of the tournament. And finally, the odds started to catch up with him a little bit as he's grounded out twice here this afternoon against Hauk. 0-2 the count. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Little roller again, foul.
I'm out, fellas. We're going to need that one. Yes, please, better. Put that back in play. We're going to need that. I'm out. Thank you.
You hear our home plate umpire in the background as he had the ball bag is empty. Now they bring him back some of the foul balls. And the count stays at no balls and 2 strikes on Mitchell. 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Evanston trails 1-0, but they're threatening here with runners at the corners. No balls and 2 strikes on Mitchell. Here's the 0-2. Grounded to third and dropped. He has 1 play, that over to first, but the run is in. And Mitchell is safe over at third. That'll be an error against the third baseman, Hutchison. But either way, Hank Allred able to come home and score on the ground ball as he was going on contact. and it's a 1-1 tie. And now here comes the head coach for the Riverton game, or for Riverton team. Let's see if he's going to stay with Hauk here or not. With now runners at first and second and still only one out in the bottom of the sixth. And it appears he's going to stay with him as he turns and heads back toward the dugout. If you're thinking about more innings or extra innings, we're still about 15 minutes away from the 2-hour curfew as the game started at 5:24, almost an hour late. And on my watch, it's only 9:08, so we still got some time to play. So the go-ahead run at second base. And here is Bodie Wicks. Wicks is singled, has one of the 2 hits for the team today. And he's also walked, 1 for 1 officially. First pitch to Wicks is hammered toward the hole into left field. They're going to send home Allred, and Preston has a 2-1 lead on the RBI single by Bodie Wicks. So finally, the offense maybe comes alive a little bit as the Allreds both scored. It's 2-1 now. Preston back on, or Evanston back on top. Still runners at first and second as Mitchell is at second. Bodie Wicks with the RBI single over at first. And here is Clayton Boyles and takes the first pitch high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th has really tarnished a heck of an effort by Hunter Hauk. The pitcher for Riverton. Next pitch hit in the air, in the infield. It'll be the shortstop to make the catch. Actually, the infield fly rule called. But the shortstop, Dale, makes the catch anyway, and that's the second out. So 2 outs, and here's Talon Crutchfield, 0 for 2 on the day. Crutchfield flew out to left and has struck out. As they check back at second base, first pitch to Crutchfield, hit in the air to right. Coming up the right fielder, Saltiger make the catch, and the inning is over, but not before Evanston able to gain the lead. They get 2 runs on 2 hits. There was an error and 2 men left. We're done with 6 as the Evanston Outlaws have gained the lead and they're 3 outs away from moving on to Saturday, as after 6 complete, it's now Evanston 2, Riverton 1 on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaw Baseball on K9 and on BuyLocalRadio.com.
What do you do when you lose a tooth?
Put it under your pillow. Under my pillow. Or like a treasure chest so you could put it in.
Why do you do that?
Because then the tooth fairy comes. For the tooth fairy. So the tooth fairy can come get them.
And then what happens?
I get money.
We may not be the tooth fairy, but we can still take care of your teeth. Bear River Dental in Evanston.
As your local Ricoh, Toshiba, and Sharp dealer, Mountain West Business Solutions represents quality office equipment that lasts. We work with each client to understand your workflow, your goals, and your bottom line. Whether you lease or purchase office equipment, we have many ways to work with you to provide the best products at the best value. We also service and provide supplies for HP printers. Call Mountain West Business Solutions today. Let us help you find the best solutions for you and your business.
Well, Creighton Smith now becomes the pitcher of record for the Outlaws as he stands to win it. And with the game on the line as we go to the top of the 7th inning, they tell Smith, you're able to win it, go finish it out. So Creighton Smith will start the inning, clinging to a 2-1 lead. And here in the bottom of the top of the 7th inning, It'll be the bottom third of the order due up here for Riverton. That'll be Carter Nosip, Brandon Baker, and then Branson Saldiger. So going through his warm-up tosses is a little bit late. Once again is Hank Allred getting back out there as he was left standing on the base paths when the inning ended. And now ready to go as the throw goes through to second base. So 3 outs away from a win, playing at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So here we go to the 7th inning. And Carter Nosip will lead it off. The second baseman for Riverton took a called third strike and grounded out to third. He's 0 for 2. The bottom third of the order for both sides. The bottom third for Riverton is a combined 1 for 6 thus far on the game. Smith ready, rocks and comes home in the first pitch, over for a strike, and it's 0-1. The bottom 4 hitters in the Evanston lineup have not done much better. Moyles, Crutchfield, Schneider, and Baldwin. They are a combined 0 for 10 in the game. Ground ball wide of the mound, charging quickly is Mitchell. Gloves from the edge of the grass, throws and gets him. Second nice defensive play by Jagger Mitchell in the game, and that's the first out. So there's 1 out. Now here's Brandon Baker. 0 for 2, is struck out twice on the game. Both of those at-bats were against Gus Allred, part of his 8 strikeouts that he's had. First pitch from Smith, fastball missed, down and away, ball 1. Smith has struck out 2 since he came in, so a total of 10 Riverton Raiders have struck out on the game. The 1-0 pitch takes high, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Smith just, whatever pitch that was, he really just kind of dropped his elbow and short-armed it, and it took off out of his hand and ended up way high. Here's the 2-0 pitch, bounces up there, now it's 3-0. Those 3 balls and no strikes. Baker looks down to the third base coach, who claps his hands a couple of times and points out toward the outfield and says, just go get it, dude, get on base. So 3-0. Smith stands both feet on the rubber. Rocks and comes home. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and it's a strike, and it's 3-1. 3 balls and a strike. Smith ready again. Here's the 3-1 pitch, hit on the ground to the right side. There's Schneider, plugs the hole and throws him out. So 2 outs. And once again, the Raiders down to their last out, who led 1-0 for 5 and the third innings before Evanston pushed across the tying and go-ahead runs in the bottom of the 6th. Now Smith, an out away from collecting the victory here this afternoon. And the first pitch here to Saltgiver is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Smith ready again. Rocks. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball missed outside, a little bit low, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. As Smith a little upset with himself for missing that badly, and turns his back on home plate and walks around the mound. Now back up on top. Shakes his head no a couple of times. Now he's ready. Comes home. Here's the 1-1. Off-speed breaking ball is swung on and missed. And now Riverton's down to their last strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You got this, Branson.
So Branson back up in there. Now the 1-2 pitch from Smith. Big chopper to third. Backhanded there by Wicks. Straightens, throws, and gets him. And the big come-from-behind win from the Outlaws as they score twice in the bottom of the sixth. And they go on to the 2-1 win here this afternoon. And they will live to play on. They will play tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock back here at Hawthorne Field. We'll have the game for you just before 9 o'clock tomorrow. We invite you to stay tuned. We'll have the full wrap for you. Plus, we'll talk a little bit more about what happens tomorrow. We'll do all that as we continue right after this. The post-game show is next on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Outlaw Baseball on K9 and on MyLocalRadio.com.
The big difference that sets Freeway Tire apart from other tire stores is the fact that we care. We care about the customer service we provide, we care about selling quality products at fair prices, and we care about your vehicle. So when you're looking for tires or having work done on your vehicle, everything from maintenance to major repairs, make sure you take it to the company that really cares, Freeway Tires, on Bear River Drive in Evanston. Stop in today or schedule an appointment with us online at freewaytires.com.
Do you really think you can get a better deal on a vehicle in the city? Poppycock! Rocky Mountain Yeti is hungry for your business and will beat any bona fide deal on any vehicle, or they'll give it to you as a gift. Now that's legendary. Rocky Mountain Yeti Evanston, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile legendary warranty, where legendary customer service is not a myth.
Welcome back here to the postgame show as Evanston able to come from behind and pick up a victory as they trailed 1-0 most of the game. They got a couple of runs in the bottom of the sixth inning when Grayson Smith was let off. He was hit by a pitch after Hank Allred hit into a fielder's choice. Big brother Gus then singled. Jagger Mitchell reached on an error, and Bodie Weeks then singled in the go-ahead run, and Evanston was on their way to a 2-1 victory here this afternoon. Final totals as we look at our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Remember, it's Jimmy John's at 113 Front Street in Evanston. For Evanston today, 2 runs on a total of 3 hits. They committed 2 errors, and they left 5 men on base. For Riverton, they had 1 run, 3 hits. They also committed a pair of errors, and they left a grand total of 5 on base as well. The winning pitcher in relief is Grayson Smith, which kind of nullifies the great outing by Gus Allred and the start this afternoon, as Smith picks up the win, and Hunter Hauk is the loser for Riverton here this afternoon. But a great played game. Game that moved along quite quickly as well. It took only an hour and 53 minutes to play. We'll take another timeout. When we come back, we'll share our player of the game with you, and we'll tell you more about tomorrow and what tomorrow brings for the Outlaws. We'll do all that as we continue right after this.
I thought so.
The best cement comes from Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. They've been mixing cement for every type of job for generations. Major construction, road and bridge, cement blocks, foundations, sidewalks, curb and gutter, cement steps, septic tanks, and water troughs. No job is too large or too small. Make sure you get the best quality cement available at the best prices. Always get your cement from Ellingford Brothers. Call today. Ellingford Brothers, we know cement. 307-789-1515.
2 roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when 2 roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less travel. Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Well, there's a couple of good choices you can make for player of the game. Certainly the outing by Gus Allred. He allowed just 1 run on 2 hits over 4 innings, walked 2 and struck out 8. That could certainly be considered as part of a big part of the win. But our Dr. McKay Frankum Precision Play of the Game. Remember, it's Dr. McKay Frankum Family Dentistry for an appointment. Call 307-789-8910. Our Dr. Frankum Precision Play of the Game, or Player of the Game. We're going to give it to Bodie Wicks, the third baseman. Bodie had 2 singles, drove in the go-ahead run. He also had a walk in the game and played spotless defense in the field. So Bodie Wicks is our Player of the Game, brought to you by Dr. McKay Frankum Precision Family Dentistry at 307-789-8910. So, for tomorrow morning, the Evanston Outlaws back on the field, as they'll be scheduled. If they win tomorrow morning, they would play 2 games. They'll play in the semifinal game tomorrow morning at 9 back here at Hawthorne Field, as they will take on the Burley Bobcats coming up tomorrow at 9 a.m. If they win that game, they would move into the Silver Bracket Championship game, which will be across the way at Hollowell Field at 2 o'clock. But again, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We have another game to play before that. So tomorrow morning, it'll be the Outlaws against the Burley Bobcats here at Hawthorne Field, and we'll have the pregame show for you tomorrow morning just before 9 o'clock, and then the ball game coming up with the first pitch scheduled for 9 a.m. tomorrow. So that'll do it here for this afternoon. A very exciting game as the Outlaws come back. They score twice in the bottom of the 6th inning and pull it out and win it by the final score of 2-1. Until tomorrow, I'm Dan Hubbard. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and have a good night, everybody.
This broadcast has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Special thanks to executive producer Val Cook, office manager Kayleen Anderson, sales manager Julie Burley, and production assistant Alyssa McDaniel. And a big thank you to our fine sponsors. Thank you for tuning in to the First Bank of Wyoming broadcast. For archive games, talk shows, and interviews, visit MyLocalRadio.com. Like and follow My Local Radio Sports on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all things local athletics.